What's up, everybody? Chris Weiser here with another episode of the AI Profit Leaders Podcast. Here with our special guest today, Austin, Texas. Also together, not together, but together. Josh Lee from Standout Authority and Humanize. Good to see you, buddy. How you doing, man?
Oh man, Chris, I'm excited to be here today. I mean, it's so nice when I can actually, do an interview or hang out with a good buddy of mine in Austin.
I know.
It's rather than doing the Zoom crap and everything else.
We actually, right now, we're only doing this in person.
Nice.
So there's no Zoom interviews. We do have, actually, our members of our program do have their own podcast rooms that are on StreamYard. So they can do that and they can bring guests in, but they can also do it in person too. We got some guys coming in today, bringing their people in. So it's nice to do it in person. We also got South by Week here.
That's it.
So that's kind of why we're doing the lives and recording. So we were talking, man, AI, right? We got so much stuff to talk about. I just came out of talking to Ryan Kohler for, an hour.
Oh, easy to talk to him for an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, great guy.
We got so much going on with AI. What are you using it for? Where's your head? How are you making money with
the question
AI?
That everyone asks, how are we using AI? AI.
I know.
Here's the big thing, Chris. I think that we're eventually, are we at the point now where we don't have to say AI anymore? You have to assume that most people are using AI?
It's funny that you say that because we are in it and we think that.
But then you look at the majority of the...
But you look at, it's literally like this, and our main coaching people that I work with, I come from IT land and managed service provider land. My biggest battle is getting these guys to actually look at it. And Ryan kind of talked about this last hour of... our job as leaders now isn't to say, go use AI. It's, let's take a step back, guys, and realize that AI isn't here to replace you, but how are you going to use AI to massively influence you and help you? So I think we still got to say the term AI. I think you still got to talk to people about it.
Yeah. No, again, I just at the same point, because we're in it, I think so much, I think that's where we're like, oh my God, did we just have to say AI again? But I get it. And this is why I'm excited for our conversation today too, because that's what I look at, right? How are the leaders actually standing up? Because it's, as we continue to be able to go in this AI revolution as we're going through, and you can call it an AI revolution, a digital revolution. I'm going to be honest, Chris, I call it a human revolution because as human beings, we have more power than we've ever had before in our lives. But as leaders, we have to decide not just can we build it, should we build it? Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest
thing. Because the answer now is you can build it.
Anything and everything.
And you can build whatever direction you want.
Yeah.
Which, interestingly, before there was so much review and looking at it and meeting on it and talking on it. It was a pretty massive decision to build something. Right? Now it's oh, holy shit, that's cool. I just built that.
Well, dude, you and I have been doing this for many years.
You call me old, man.
I always, dude, my kids now. My daughter the other day, she was like, I'm like, I'm going gray. She's like, I'm about 50% gray. She goes, Dad, no, you're about 80% gray.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you. Kids are always amazing for that. But one of my first clients, this is my wife always tells me I aged myself, was MySpace.
Yeah.
So I helped them design one of the first social media ads. And as I look at this whole...
That's crazy, dude. You are old.
I know, right? The mohawk kind of hides a lot of the crap.
In your top 8? I don't know. See, I was on it though, so I shouldn't say that.
And look, dude, we monetized traffic. It was crazy. You want to talk about no holds barred, no regulation. It was like printing money back then.
Yeah.
And it was insane, but regulation had to step in. And as you look in this world now, of can you build it? I had to buy my own servers, right? I don't think that a lot of people...
I built my own servers.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
I remember, and again, aging, as you said we were going to bullshit on this, so
No, that's a green light, man. I don't care.
I remember being so excited when I set up my first server farm or whatever. 'Cause you're more on that side than I. Again, I had guys that did it for me. But, we were on the backbone of the internet. I look over from our cage and I was like, ooh, the Sony PlayStation is right there in LA. Right? And I remember going in, they'd have to weigh you and do the air test to be able to see what you're taking in. There was funny things my IT guy, my CTO would go in. He's like, if I was in there too long and I lost weight, they would be careful and if they'd let us back out. There was weight systems to go into the...
I never dealt with that. That's extreme.
Yeah,
but
way
I do remember
then.
being downtown Milwaukee once. So you don't know this about me, but I hosted when I was like 21, 22, so a long time ago. I ran the biggest South Park fan site on the internet.
Love that.
Yeah. So you talk about backbone of the internet.
Yeah.
I had a Unix server sitting on the back, running Apache on the back, like literally on a T3.
Yeah.
On the backbone, and we were crashing that shit. There were so many people who were crashing it back then. But look at how different it is now. Right?
I mean, it's insane. Now you can create your own South Park episodes anytime you want. And,
in minutes, and I just typed it in. Yeah.
But I think that's the thing. I want to circle back as my ADHD kicks back in. To my wife always says, "You talk in circles." I'm like, "I'm getting there."
Welcome to the team.
Don't worry.
It's nice up here.
But you asked, like, what are we doing in AI? Because of this, because of how fast compared to what you and I used to do to be able to build things, to be able to create, we appreciated what we created. We understood the value of it because of how much time, effort, energy it took. It's not the same anymore. I don't see that in today's case because, like you said, anybody can spin up a website, spin up a product, sell anything they want, make a video. I mean, look, I was having fun on Sora with all the different celebrity, fakes that were talking about my company. And then I realized, well, this is probably bad. And that's why they locked all that down.
Giant waste of time. Yeah. It was, Or you're doing Grok. I was talking to somebody yesterday about how Grok, why they had to change the clothing rules in AI because everybody was on Twitter saying, oh, take the clothes off this person. Swap this off. Yeah. So, the thing that I see now with all this, and I think a little bit of the next opportunity is anybody can create anything so fast. So it's making sure that you're going in the right direction. And I think there's going to be a separator there and a differentiator there.
But how do we know the right direction? Because if you look at the top MSPs, I'm sitting here thinking of MSPs sitting with you, LLMs. Let's talk Anthropic, right? Anthropic said, you know what, recently, just with the government, hey, you know what, you can't use our code for military aspects. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as the higher Bs were like, oh, no one used Anthropic, which is another lawsuit waiting to happen. No one used Anthropic across the board. All of a sudden they're like, oh, wait a minute. Can we have conversations again? Yeah. And so the line they drew in the sand to be able to say, hey, this is what we say, because Anthropic has stood for a lot of things, more so than most companies out there. And now they're like, well, I don't want to get left behind. I don't want to lose out on the money. So let's have a different conversation. I think that's going to be a big problem in today's world because people are trying to move as fast as the next guy rather than thinking about how they're moving.
Yeah, and I think some of that too is, and let's just take the LLMs out of it because they're all like fighting over money and doing kind of dumb stuff at times because it's just like who can get the fastest stuff out. But it's think about back in our founder creator world, right? I think so much to answer your question, so much of what's the right direction is going to be someone in that organization. And this is where I think, us as, and this is what I think the differentiator is, us as leaders of our visions and our brands and our companies and all this other stuff, you have to be the one that says, I've sat down, I've thought about this, I've learned enough in it, I've been in the trenches enough that we're going to go this direction. Now, also, to me, I think you got to be really an AI first leader. We talk about the AI profit leaders mindset here. Yeah. You have to be an AI first leader because to come back around to the initial question that you asked, should we even be saying the term AI because everybody's using it? Realize that it's like this little bubble that's using it.
Oh yeah.
And the ones that aren't are literally saying we are not touching it because it's a fad or it's like there's.
I think I saw your post on Facebook. Yeah. In the group recently about that. Yeah.
About where I got. Honestly, I had a very similar one on. I have like multiple different communities. Yeah. I had one on my wall, on my personal wall, on Facebook from a couple of weeks ago, and it went borderline viral. Had 19,000 comments on it, and like went crazy. That's pretty viral, I guess. Like went pretty crazy.
No, come on, Chris. We all know that you're using AI to be able to juice the comments.
I wish that was the case. But majority of the people out there were like, "Is this real? Like, is this real? AI is not even an impact in my life yet." Yeah. So I think it's like so much of that too, right?
I don't even think they realize that it is, though. I mean, like if we look across the board, they say it's not, but I mean, like every major company that's out there is leveraging it, being able to go through, and we're actually influencing it because of the information that we're putting out there. It is learning from us. I mean, some of the biggest things that we're learning, because we do a lot with AEO, answer engine optimization. And I mean, these AIs are learning based on how human beings learn, because they were taught based off of human information and collective insight. So, man, I think we're going to get there faster than that. I mean, I think we're going to get to AGI we're talking faster.
We're talking weeks to months at this point, right? I mean, we're not sitting here talking in decades. We're not even talking in years. I think we're like on all these changes, it's weeks to months.
Yeah. I mean, I forget what it was. I don't know if it was, because Microsoft recently did a whole thing where they're now trying to be able to catch up with Claude because of OpenClaw. Yeah.
So they added, I come from Microsoft ecosystem because of the IT guy stuff, right? So we've been in Microsoft Office 365 forever. Yep. All the IT guys are that. Microsoft really has a small business stranglehold.
I mean, you love Teams, right?
No, I do not. It's a constant battle. Okay, 2 episodes, 2 Teams references that just came out here, and both of them were the same.
My wife used to work. She ran branding at Microsoft Partner Network. So
So I mean, I was in that. Like I was an IT company. We were very in the trenches. Well, Microsoft released Copilot, and it's been, if anything, a complete flop.
Yeah.
So they went into Claude and said, Anthropic, and said, let's partner. So they've strapped, I think, Copilot on the back of Claude.
Yeah.
And are going to try and bring that out. And I don't know.
We'll see where it goes. I mean, it's hard to bet against Microsoft. They've been around the longest.
Well, and they also have a massive stockpile. And you know what they're doing similar to Apple?
Yeah.
They're your 2 probably biggest behemoths. They're kind of sitting around waiting everybody else get their hands dirty and fight. And they're just going to kind of pick up
what they do.
They're going to pick up the pieces. Apple's for sure going to do that because Siri couldn't be a bigger turd. But they're definitely we'll see. So we'll see where all that goes.
Chris, I think one of the biggest things that we continue to be able to see is we talk about all these AI companies. We talk about what they can and cannot do, what they should be doing. And one thing that you brought up earlier in our conversation was about the leaders, right? The leaders being able to go in and who they're representing, how they're actually showing up, what they have done in their past, and why. You mentioned Grok.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Elon hasn't had the best track record recently about what he should and shouldn't do.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the biggest things that we've really paid attention to. I mean, I've been working with some of the really blessed, man. I mean, over the last decade, I've worked with men and women. I used to read their books on how to be able to start my own companies 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And now we help them educate, inspire, and draw on that audience. But I've worked with the people too that are all just like, hey, how do I make as much money as I can before I get caught? And I think there needs to be a level, a standard that's put out there. And that's why we're actually building, we're in the MVP stage right now for Humanize, Youmanize. Mm-hmm. And it's all about building honestly a FICO score for human branding. To be able to look at not only how someone shows up online across all platforms, not just social, because that was Clout, right? Clout went in there.
I was just thinking of that.
Clout went in there hey, let me look at vanity, but it was all vanity metrics.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, like you and I both know, just like I was joking with you earlier, we can always game the system by doing that. It also looks at the other side of that, which is how does everyone else talk about you? What's your earned media? How are your mentions? What's going in? Being able to go in, and the overlay of that, being able to kind of give someone Well, we try to call it a trust score. Our lawyers were like, you can't call that. You can't be like, oh, well, here's Chris's.
Come on,
someone will sue.
That's good.
Someone will sue you because but it's an impact score, right? In this world that we're going into.
It's funny how those words have completely. They can't sue you for an impact score, but they could sue you for a trust score because of what the word implies.
Because you said that I could trust this person, they screwed me over.
Yeah.
So that's what we're in the process
versus how much they're impacting me. Yeah.
And so, that's where we kind of were like, there's got to be a better way. In this world, I want to make sure that we are empowering the human beings behind the brands. Because, dude, I've seen AIs come in here. They talk about all the jobs they're replacing and things like that. But you and I both know the power of these tools. And actually, if you empower the human beings on how to be able to use and leverage these tools, there's even more impact that we can actually go through. Because AWS was one of our largest clients. They love what we do. We handle their C-level executives to be able to run their personal brands through LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And they go, we love what you do. We love to make this culture. Love when someone says culture. That means everyone needs it.
Yeah.
Right? But we can't quantify the spend, which you and I both know when you talk about branding. You can't, I put $10,000 in, I can't get it back out. And so that's where we kind of came, like, how do we actually quantify someone's brand, especially in a world where EGC
really well done. That's awesome.
Yeah, where that's EGC really content is needed because, again, people believe the employees of the companies rather than the C-level executives. And so that's what we're trying to be able to do.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I was on Clout. I remember that back then, and you're right. It was 100%, and that was kind of it was vanity before it was really a thing.
Yeah,
like it was always that. So,
but once they figured out the algorithm, that's what do you do?
Then that's all you could do. Is it was all that. So, so you talk about like a FICO score for humans.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I got my head wrapped around. I'm trying to make sure I wrap around the right question here because it's. None of your bio stuff or anything. We've known each other for a while. None of that stuff really talked about that. So I'm trying to like make.
Well, it's a whole new thing, right?
It's really clever and it's smart. And the thing that it is everybody gets it. Then I think you got to be careful about saying the word FICO.
Well,
but,
again, I got believe it, me. There's all kind. But that's the easiest way to be able to tell someone, like you and I have a conversation, what it is. And they go, oh, okay, I get it.
It's a credit score for
human beings, how they actually show up. Because in this world, we have people that look amazing, but I mean, I'm going to be honest, man, like. My wife is Jewish, so my youngest is Jewish as well. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that go on in this world right now. So if you're amazing and doing all these things, but then you're behind the scenes spewing hate speech in this world, I want someone to understand what's going on. I want people to be able to stand for what they are because also we have our parents in another situation where you and I have so much content out there. Mm-hmm. How fast is it for someone to be able to take that and be able to spin up a FaceTime video to our parents and be able to call them and pretend like they're us? As
we sit now, though, that's a very easy deep fake to
Correct.
Do. Very easy.
So how do we actually understand like who's doing what? I mean,
you're so early, but props being early on this because I think when you're this early, you can actually define the space.
And that's what we want to be able to do. We want to be able to build the standard for what it is. And we're going to be working initially, it's for guys like you and I to be able to not only look at how we show up, hey, how do we look at what's going on? And then again, I want to be able to have a leaderboard, right? Like, oh man, me and Chris are neck and neck.
You bring back the top 8.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be able to go in. But at the same time,
it's actually, they can score as our friends.
Now before someone actually looks into it, right? Before they want to work with you, they can look you up. Now other people can search you up as well. So being able to look at, oh, hey, how's Chris show? Because again, our branding and our marketing can say anything. You and I have had a lot of friends that have said a lot of things and we know that are not true. Right? So how do we actually protect these human beings?
Well, especially you start to think about people that are out there shooting their keyboard warriors behind the scenes, right? It's a lot easier for people to do that. Like it's really funny because I'm pretty opinionated and pretty polarizing on the internet. But I mean, we were kind of talking about this earlier. Right?
Same, yeah.
And it's all trying to move people forward. I'm never out there bashing others or doing any of that stuff.
Right.
But a majority of the hate, I get like serious hate mail.
Yeah.
I get death threats. I get all this stuff from people, and it's just like, just imagine if that went on to your human score in some capacity.
Here's the thing. I appreciate that, but there's a reason behind it, right? And so what we're actually going into is human psychology. We're looking at the 7 psychological aspects of trust. Mm-hmm. And we're actually being able to look at sentiment, what's going on, how people are saying it, why they're saying it, being able to go to a deeper level than just comments. So that's where I want you to be able to understand is, yes, that's going to be out there. And I mean, look, you and I have been doing business for 20 years. And this is what I always tell people. Like, if you haven't had someone that's been like, oh, well, screw Josh, he's an ass. You're not doing business. You're not pushing the line. Like I had a good friend of mine that's here in Austin.
Agree with that.
And we were talking about David Gonzalez, Internet Marketing Party, things like that. And we were doing his panel. And David's like, he's got 500,000 or 400,000 followers on Instagram. I look at it. I go, Sean, man, I love this, but like every single one of your comments is how much they love you. I go, that means you're not pushing the edge enough.
Yeah.
Like if you have every single person on it, you are not standing in your power and doing what you need to do on this world. So like you talk about that, yes. So yeah, there's going to be things that we've got to look at and being able to go through.
I think it's really important. I think you do too, based on what you just said, to be a polarizing, like,
in a good way.
Yeah. I mean,
I always want to make sure because there's
especially with what's going on right now. You know, we're Q1 2026. So if you're watching this, you know it's like we're in the middle of all the stuff that's going on right now.
And we never date on podcasts, so you know that.
I don't care. I personally, it's my podcast. I can do what I want. But it's, it's a very interesting scenario because so many people tell us as and I'm 49, speaking of dating on podcasts. I'm 48. I think we were told our whole lives kind of like, don't be outside the box, don't push the limit, try and fall in line. Like that's the cultural thing that we were taught. Yeah. And I was almost always seen growing up as an outsider. I didn't go to college. I branded my own trails. I did all this other stuff. My mom still thinks I'm unsuccessful. She told me she was proud of me the other day. I'm happy about that. But she wanted me to be an orthopedic surgeon. That was her dream for me. And I was seen as, so, to be that leader, especially in today's world, we were taught not to. And probably the biggest negativity I see from people in the AI space is people coming to me that are our age, ish, and saying, I'm not going to support that, killing all jobs. And I don't really think, and I think you really nailed something with this on the AI thing, because the real power with this is to make your staff if you're
why replace it? Why not give them the power that they have? Now you can actually 10x, 100x what you're doing.
Yeah, and if you're a leader that's saying, I'm going to try and use this to cut my staff by 3/4, and yes, they're
all doing it. That's the new.
I know
that's the new highlight, right? Hey, I just cut off 20,000.
Yeah,
people.
and I know there's bloat. Like I can understand a little bit of it because there's always bloat in companies, and I think AI is going to help you be massively efficient, better in those worlds. But I think it's going to give you the ability really, and this is where I think it brings in the human aspect and can maybe even maximize. And I want to throw something at you that just came into my head here live. Giving it, like, how can you what's your human efficiency power or something like that, to where you're utilizing AI to be multiplied.
Yeah.
Just imagine attaching that to someone.
I've done this. I've actually done a post on that. You want to talk about pissing people off? Man, this post went viral because I said, look, if you're going to come in as a leader and you're going through, you're giving, your team AI, and now they're using this to be able to get their work done faster, what you set their standards. What do you do with that extra time? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm like, shouldn't that be put back in the person so they're not burning out, being able to go through? Because if we're actually just giving them a tool to do 10x more, and then we're continuing to have them do 10x more than they were already doing with their time, we're not actually helping that human being out to be able to go through.
Yeah, really good point. Really good point.
Well, that's my time. I'm paying it for. I'm like, well, why can't they invest back in them? Because you're going to have a happier employer. They're going to do more. They're going to stand for your company more.
And they're going to work when they're not being forced.
Correct.
Like, that's such a big factor, right?
And I mean, dude, like, you want to talk about pissing, like, well, I'm like, okay, well, then we need to rethink on how we actually set these standards, because you're right. We're burning people out. Yeah. And if we're just going to give them tools to do more work,
you're just going to burn them out.
You're going to burn them out in a different way.
Yeah. And faster.
Right.
And more, right? So I think, it's funny because we're both entrepreneurs. We've been doing this stuff for a long time. A big feather in my cap for years is I can work from anywhere. I have a house in Mexico. I can go down there. I can go work on a cruise ship. I can go do whatever I want, right? And we've never really empowered our employees to do that.
No.
So I think, that's a really important concept too, that AI can be empowering. It can be helpful.
Yeah.
Yes, you can use it to modernize and streamline your workforce, blah, blah, blah. But let's empower them, but then also use that time saved and that time recaptured and that efficiency piece to give back to them. Give them mental health days. Give them time off. Give them the ability to work from anywhere. Give them the ability to work when they want. Be task focused.
Chris, you said the same thing, man, earlier, because you said, well, these are the things that we were taught to do. Being able to go in when I was growing. Mm-hmm. But that's we're doing, and history has a tendency to repeat itself.
Yeah.
And I've seen this enough time in the marketing advertising industry. I see and I'm like, okay, we're about to, and be like, oh, AI is not like, no, but if we have the same exact thinking with it, we will repeat the same mistakes that we've made before.
Yeah.
And we have to, as the leaders, we have to be able to make a better choice. And I think we have the opportunity to be able to do that. But, yes, people are like, well, I can do more. I can do everything. Yes, it's amazing. I've actually even burned myself out because I'll sit there and I get in a hole and I'm like, oh my God, like everything that I went into my head, I can now get out there on paper and be able to actually create all this.
It's so hard because I feel now like one of the challenges, this is the battle that I think you and I are similar battles. And Ryan Kohler and I were just talking about this too, that the ability for us, like I was always this crazy idea guy, and then over here was the end goal, and it's like doing this now. And
if you don't have that implementer, you and I could never do anything. We had to have our teams to make us successful.
Now I'm in this place where I'm just like pumping out content insanely fast, and I got 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 3 screens running with different workflows running on all 3 of them, doing different stuff, and I got tasks running all over the place, and I got this one going, and I got a computer going over here, and I got OpenClaw going over here, and I got all this shit running constantly, and it's just like I feel like I'm constantly behind because number one, I feel like the AI is a thing I gotta almost capture while I can, kind of.
You told me we're in a bubble, only like a certain percentage are even using it, so but we forget that, right? Because we're surrounded by the same people.
And I just have this feeling too, and I don't know how real this really is. Yeah. But I have this feeling of we got a window to make money.
That's everything, right? Because I mean, as entrepreneurs, and I never wanted to be an entrepreneur burns out, right? Like I want to be a business owner with an entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah, I like that.
And I mean, and the big thing is there's an opportunity gap between when we find out what's going on now and then the rest of the world figures out. And that between that's our opportunity gap for most entrepreneurs. And once the rest of the world figures out, they've got to reinvent again. Mm-hmm. I think that's the biggest problem that we've got to shift from is not how do I actually take advantage of this moment in time because it's only a short time frame. How do I make it last? And that's what I'm trying to shift from because running an agency, I mean, look, it's great being one of the top LinkedIn experts in the world, but like agency is exhausting. And so like that's why we're building Humanize as a platform to be able to go through because I've got to be able to have a better way to be able to impact this world, not only for myself, not only for my kids, but for future generations.
When you bring the human aspect into it so much, I love that. I think it's a phenomenal mission, and like I'm very deep in AI as a leader. Yeah. And I really empower my team, and I got a team all over the world. We're really pushing on it, really empowering it. But sometimes you kind of forget that human aspect. And I think that is really key. And I want, like, anytime you want to talk about this, you just shoot me a text.
Yeah, bro. I love this stuff. I think this is the way we've got to be able to go. And if more of us don't have this conversation, I think it's going to get lost, and we are going to be in that turmoil.
Yeah, I want to see how we can actually just hearing what you're talking about. I want to see how I can apply this down to my clients, and then what we're really doing here at AI Profit Machine and all the stuff that we have here is we're empowering people to, instead of trying to peddle tools all day, because that's, I mean, how fast are the tools changing every 30 seconds? Let's go talk to business owners about strategy and planning and guardrails and what's their plan, what's their North Star, and then
well said.
They can bring all those other things into.
I love it, man.
Anything you want to finish up with? We're almost at time here.
Chris, man, this is a great conversation. I mean, like you said, we could probably do this a couple different times and go even deeper. So
yeah, well, let's plan on that. Yeah. And one of the reasons I did date this is these are our South by Southwest episodes this week. We got South by this week. We got IMP tomorrow. You can be there for that. I'm going to
be at IMP. I'll be at your event on Thursday. So
we got AI Profit Machine House at South by Southwest on Thursday. We actually are already going to do a 3-day next year, so that's pumped. Love that, so we're cool about that. So.
South by is changing so much, and I mean, I'm excited to be able to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what it's like this week because it's I'm a 10-year Austinite, been very deep in South by for like the last 6 years. Yep. Kind of since COVID.
There's no parking lots to be able to do the big installations.
Totally different.
There's not even the main venue anymore now as we're rebuilding.
Next year, I think it'll be back, right?
I think so. It's supposed to be back, yeah. So we're going to see where it all changes out. But I mean, I think that gives us more opportunity to be able to actually build those intimate connections that we need. Dude, I'll leave it like this. This is the interesting part about where we're going, because you said about content. Bill Gates said many years ago, content is king. Not the case anymore. Yeah. Quality is queen, and quality of connection, because I was known, and I'm even shifting my persona from the dopamine dealer of LinkedIn that was given to me years ago.
I remember that. Actually, I remember that. That's
funny. Based on how we actually do it. But everyone's like, oh, dopamine. But, everyone's looking for, a different aspect of connection, being able to go through. And, we're moving into this authority architect now. And that's where I'm trying to position myself. And that is about being able to connect with the right people. And I think South by is going to be able to do that because it is so spread out. You're going to have to be more intentional with your time and
really purposeful.
And I think that's the big thing that I want everyone to take. It's not only with an event like this, but with AI. How intentional are you? Not because you can. Where are you spending your time intentionally rather than chasing the next every 30-second tool?
Yeah. All right, guys. Josh Lee, Standout Authority, Humanize. We will be also. You'll be on my panel
I will.
on Thursday. So pumped about that. We'll see you guys later. Next time on AI Profit Leaders.